All right. So, you ready to do this?
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
All right.
You?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Hello and welcome back to Real Talk. My name is Jim.
And I'm Lauren.
We're doing something a little different now. The Temple radio station is off for the summer, but we decided that we just wanted to kind of keep going through the summer. And through the summer, you will be joined by myself and Lauren.
Mm-hmm.
No Nick, unfortunately.
Yeah, I was trying to come up with something we could say we did to Nick, but they all just sound awful and make me sound like a psychopath, so...
Well, you know.
So Nick's just safely in his home. I was imagining all the
tell
creative
them.
ways we could have
We don't want to tell them what we actually did to Nick. He's in a ditch somewhere.
Alright. I don't even want to say what I was thinking.
Oh, God. Alright, so... we've been off for a couple of weeks. I don't have a couple of weeks worth of news. I just have the news from the past few days. Starting off by news that you do not remotely care about at all is Lionsgate just announced that the Power Rangers movie will be released in January of 2017. And I would not care about this, but they also said, we promise that's not a bad thing.
Well, if they said we promise it's not a bad thing, that means it has to be a good thing.
It's going to be terrible. It's going to be so bad.
Yes.
I've actually never seen Power Rangers.
No, I can't really say I watched it a lot when I was a kid.
Did you watch it at all? Because I never watched it once.
No, I don't remember. I can't remember ever watching it.
Really? I just know it was like the thing when we were little.
Yeah, I was never into it. I was always so confused by why we couldn't see their faces. So,
it's like the weirdest things set you off about children's shows. It's like the weirdest little things will just keep you from watching a show ever.
I just like to know who you're dealing with. I like to imagine people more complexly than the green one.
I was just gonna say. But it was like, who you're dealing with. It's the red one, the yellow one, and the pink one, and the red one, the blue one, and the green one.
And the red one? And the red one?
And the red one was my favorite.
Oh, I
never watched it. I just know red's my favorite color.
I think pink was probably my favorite, even though I never watched the show either.
Well, the pink one was the girl.
Well,
the yellow one was the Asian one.
Oh my God.
And the black one was the black guy.
Are you kidding me?
I'm dead serious.
Okay, we just need to move on. I can't discuss this anymore.
It's true though, it is. That's the way it broke down.
Oh,
unless
God.
I'm completely mistaken. In other news that you will actually care about, you'll like, is that Amy Schumer is co-writing and starring in an action comedy that she's pitching to some studio.
Oh, cool.
Apparently the studio, whoever is making Trainwreck, is very impressed with Trainwreck. They're waiting to see how it does. But based on their viewing of Trainwreck, they're giving her a movie, and she's writing an action comedy that she will be then starring in.
That's great. That just goes to show everybody should go see Trainwreck or other female-led movies, even if they stink and they're like Hot Pursuit.
There you go. Is that your thing for the episode? Is
what?
That your feminist push for the episode?
Yeah, that's about it. I'm done.
No, what were you gonna say about Hot Pursuit though? Did you see Hot Pursuit? Did you end up seeing it?
Okay, no, I didn't. I feel like I know. I should not be a hypocrite and buy a ticket though, because it's like I was saying to you. It's not like Hot Pursuit does not mean that neither Witherspoon or Vergara are gonna work, or there's never gonna be a cop movie again, but it definitely negatively impacts female-led movies.
Cop movies.
Yes, or just female-led movies.
Especially female-led cop movies, though, because the studio's going to look at that and say, well, that one didn't work.
Yeah, for like 20 years. Yeah.
Because that was that weird thing with whoever was working at Marvel, that producer who said, like, a month ago, he was like, someone, I think it was Joss Whedon, was making a push saying we need to make more movies, we need to make like more female-led movies like Captain Marvel and so on. And then there was that professor who was like, well, Catwoman didn't work.
Yeah!
And that Supergirl movie didn't work.
Yeah, no, I think it was literally just Catwoman. They said, yeah, well, look what happened to Catwoman. And then, and
Elektra.
Discussion.
No, they said Elektra, too.
Oh, yeah, they did.
Elektra was terrible.
Whatever, I didn't even. Well, so was Daredevil.
Daredevil was terrible, too, and that's why Daredevil was non-existent until 2 months ago.
Yeah.
He doesn't even get a movie. He gets a show.
It was good. It worked better that way.
Oh, I love the show.
Yeah, it was good. So anyway, you have another piece of news?
Speaking of Reese Witherspoon,
Yeah.
actually, Reese Witherspoon just got cast as Tinkerbell
Aww.
in Disney's live-action Tinkerbell movie that they're making.
That's adorable. That's really cute.
That's the next live-action, like, quote-unquote remake that they've announced is they're making a Tinkerbell movie. Starring Reese Witherspoon as Tinkerbell.
That should cheer her up. Reese Witherspoon is adorable.
I love Reese Witherspoon.
I follow her on Instagram, and she's like...
Of course you do.
Hope everyone is having a great Monday. Like, thanks, Reese.
Is it like a picture of
not.
her? What is it a picture of?
No, it's just like a picture of like Lucy from I Love Lucy. Like, oh, this makes me laugh. I hope it makes you laugh. Have a good Monday.
Oh my god.
Thanks, Reese. You too.
But yeah, so I mean, how many is that now? Because there was Maleficent last year, Cinderella this year, Jungle Book next year.
Yeah.
And they announced the Tim Burton Dumbo movie, the adult Winnie the Pooh movie.
What?
You didn't hear about that? They're making a live-action Winnie the Pooh movie where Christopher Robin is all grown up and going back to the 100-Acre Wood.
Wait.
I wish like they could see the face that you're making right now.
I'm torn between tears and making bear jokes.
Why? Why?
How do you make a live-action Winnie the Pooh movie?
I don't know.
Do you put, like, a brown bear in a tutu and then stick it on a ball? And that's actually the circus. That's not a Winnie the Pooh movie. That's like, the circus.
That was in Madagascar 3. There was that exact character was in Madagascar 3.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, how do you do a live-action Winnie the Pooh movie? Because Winnie the Pooh is a bear. So you just
Well, he's also a stuffed animal, though.
So do you just lead the gigantic bear in on a leash? And then Christopher Robin's like, oh my god, Pooh! And then the bear's like, Rawr!
Did you ever see... There was that one show that was on Disney Channel when we were really little. It was a Winnie the Pooh show.
It's called Live Action Bear Mauls.
No, but
Grown-Up
it was...
Friend.
No, but it was a live-action...
Bear cage battle?
It was a live-action Winnie the Pooh show, though. It was a live-action Winnie the Pooh show, and Pooh and friends were all Muppets.
Oh, God. No, I don't remember that at all. I might have tried to block that out.
I watched it all the time. I don't remember it very well. I just remember what it looked like, and that it was all on Disney Channel, and I watched it. But, I mean, I imagine that they'll do CGI Winnie the Pooh and friends and make them look like they usually look, or...
I mean, they made a live-action Paddington movie, and Paddington is literally a bear, so that was fine, and that was adorable, so it worked. I'm being unnecessarily harsh here, but it'll be okay.
And you only saw, like 10 minutes of Paddington?
Last half hour. Made it in. They almost didn't sell me the ticket. I was so late. They were like,
if I were working the box office, I would not have sold you a ticket.
Well, they really tried not to, and I was like, "Give me the ticket." So I saw the last half hour of the Paddington movie. It was scary. I was scared.
Really?
Yeah. Do you know what happens? Can I spoil the end of the Paddington movie? Really?
Really?
Because it was really kind of disturbing.
No, I want to see it.
Fine. It was weird. The ending was weird.
Let's see. Oh, something else. They're making a, remember like Bat Kid that happened last year? Was the kid's Make-A-Wish is that he wanted to be Batman?
Yeah.
And it was him going around Chicago all day being Batman. They're making a documentary, and it comes out in like a month.
I heard about that.
Yeah, it's called Bat Kid Begins.
That's adorable.
It is adorable.
What's the documentary they're making about, the Superman movie?
What? Oh, The Death of Superman Lives.
Yeah, The Death of Superman Lives,
What
happened? Which is like, I feel like you can add that to the end of any movie title.
It's true.
Like, The Dark Knight Rises, what happened?
Since the last movie.
Yeah, it's like, the whole movie is about what happens.
Yeah, and like, it's so dumb, because The Death of Superman Lives is such a good title for a documentary.
It's like, what happened? It's like...
With 2 question marks.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? It would have been taken so much more seriously.
And that's getting a wide release.
That's so weird.
We're seeing it.
No,
we're seeing it.
I just want to be their copy editor so bad, just for the title. I just want to call them up and be like...
And you want to be Marvel's advertising director.
Why? Why do I want to be their advertising director?
You were saying, how are people supposed to find comic books?
It's true.
Like,
Yeah, not Marvel movie studios.
no, yeah, I know.
I want to do the advertising or the PR for Marvel comic books or any comic book company because the only ads for comic books are in comic books. How do you expect to reach a wider audience if you're putting your ads in comic books? Put them in a magazine.
I think they used to.
Yeah, do that again. That was good. That was a smart idea.
Because I feel like what happened was, like, they stopped being lucrative, so people stopped giving them ad space, but now they're a thing again, kind of.
Yeah, so I don't know. They gotta fire their advertising person and hire me, who knows nothing about advertising, except enough to know that they're doing it wrong.
There we go. Sounds about right. And also, the last piece of news that I have is that they announced that they're making Now You See Me 3?
What, did Now You See Me 2 come?
I don't even think it did yet. Is it happening? Is that a thing that's happening? Or are they just skipping the second one?
Do not pass go. Do not collect sequel.
Just make the third. Just make it Now You See Me 3.
Just make the trequel.
So I guess, yeah.
That's so strange. Yeah, Now You See Me came out in the summer of 2013, in June 2013.
I thought you saw it on DVD in June of 2013.
No, I saw it in theaters.
Oh, you went and saw it. Okay, yeah, you went on senior week and went and saw it.
Very exciting senior week.
Very exciting senior week. I was doing other things.
Alright, we don't need to discuss that.
So that's all the news that I have. What do you have?
So I have some news about how old Wonder Woman is supposed to be in the Batman vs. Superman movie. Guess how old she's supposed to be?
25.
Centuries! You are wrong by literally hundreds of years! She's supposed to be centuries old!
That makes sense.
Like Thor,
Like
I
Thor.
guess.
Yeah.
Like literally just blatantly ripping off Thor. Please God, let this make as much movie as the Avengers did.
I think they would settle for as much money as Thor at this point.
I don't know. I'm excited to see this crash and burn, honestly.
Oh, it's not going to be good. Like, they said that the Doomsday is going to be in it now. I know that means nothing to you. But, Doomsday killed Superman in the comics. They're doing that. They're doing Lex Luthor. They're doing Batman. They're doing Wonder Woman. They're doing Aquaman.
Wow. And people were saying that Avengers 2 wasn't as good as Avengers 1, and that has just as many people. This new movie has just as many as Avengers 2, and I think Avengers 2 really did the best with what they could.
And I really liked Avengers 2!
And I really liked Avengers 2, and they really did do the best with what they could, so seeing this new movie is, yeah, it's gonna be pretty ugly.
Especially because Man of Steel was terrible.
But people went to go see it. So.
I went to go see it twice.
What? Whatever. Okay, whatever. Okay, so...
I saw it for free the second time.
Whatever. That makes me feel better.
I wouldn't have paid to see it again. Because I hated it so much. Oh, you have the Michael B. Jordan stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I figured you'd pull that up.
Okay.
And also, it's not like new news. It's all stuff that's been around. But go ahead, say it.
Well, it's not... Well, I don't know what... So he wrote an editorial in Entertainment
really?
Weekly. Yeah. I don't know what Michael B. Jordan stuff are you talking about?
Oh, he's just been casually just, like, telling off people for, like, being against the idea of a Black Human Torch. So,
yes. This is, I would say, what would be in line with that, but he wrote an editorial for Entertainment Weekly.
I didn't realize he wrote a whole editorial.
Yeah, I mean, it's not, I wouldn't say it's long, I would say it's maybe 6 paragraphs, but it's, Michael B. Jordan, Why I'm Torching the Color Line. And he said, basically, the movie is about, a family coming together and creating unity in a team, and they're united by a series of unfortunate events. So... And then he says he is going to be the person who's going to shoulder all the hate and take the brunt for the next couple of generations. Which I feel like is a very broad statement for a person playing the Human Torch, but I really don't know what kind of,
I mean, that first Fantastic Four movie from, like, 10 years ago was pretty awful. Yeah. Like, it's fine. It's it's fun. It's enjoyable. It's not good. Chris Evans was the Human Torch in that movie. Woohoo! And he was the only good part of that movie. Because, he's the comic relief. He's the fun character. He's the one you want to spend the most time with when you're watching it.
Oh, really?
So Michael B. Jordan might be that for this movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought he was saying, I'm going to take the heat for the being a black person.
I was thinking like, he was saying, like, if the movie's not good, I'm going to be blamed, and it's going to be because, like, I'm a black Human Torch, and that's why the movie didn't work.
Yeah, that's true.
Because, in the same way that, like, Hot Pursuit didn't work, because it starred women.
Yeah.
Well, this Fantastic Four didn't work, obviously, because the Human Torch was a black guy.
Yeah. I like this. He has a good line in this. It says, maybe if I set an example, Hollywood will start considering more people of color in other prominent roles, and maybe we can reach past the people who are stuck in the mindset that it has to be true to the comic book. Or maybe we have to reach past them. I was like, I feel you, Michael B. Jordan.
I love Michael B. Jordan. I thought he was great,
in
Fruitvale Station and Chronicle.
I saw Fruitvale Station, but not Chronicle.
Chronicle was really good. Chronicle, I wouldn't say really good. It was decent. It was a solid movie, and it was directed by the guy who's directing the new Fantastic Four.
Oh,
which is why Michael B. Jordan was cast in it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Well, and then my last piece of news is Robert De Niro gave the commencement address at the Tisch School of Arts for the graduating NYU seniors. And he told them, he told them all, like, you're screwed, but he didn't use the word screwed. He used...
We're not being censored here.
It's okay. I'm just not gonna say it anyway.
He said they're fucked.
Okay, that's what he said, and he was saying that, but that's a good thing because they have, like, no job security but a lot of passion. But that's a good thing.
It's a good thing.
Yeah.
I want to watch that. I haven't seen that.
Yeah, he did that. John Bon Jovi did one. I saw.
What was John Bon Jovi doing, really?
Guess which college he did.
Alabama.
No, he did Rutgers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Okay.
I don't know why I guessed Alabama.
I don't know. That was an interesting
one. It was a random guess. Yeah. I had no idea.
Well, yeah. Well, and not movie news, I thought it was interesting that they just threw David Letterman's studio out.
Oh, I saw that.
Just threw it out. And then they let somebody take pictures of them while they were throwing it out.
Is there, like, some bad blood between David Letterman and CBS or something?
I don't know.
Because he didn't pick his replacement, and now they're just trashing his studio.
I mean, like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know.
Because he has said several times that he did not pick Stephen Colbert to replace him.
Who did he want?
He didn't say.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I feel like they could have, like, done something with it that was not thrown out.
It's like, it's a piece of television history.
Yeah. Can put it in the Smithsonian American History Museum.
if we can, like, keep Central Perk somewhere.
Where is it?
It is somewhere, I don't know where.
I toured Emerson in Boston.
Yeah, and they have a bunch of TV sets.
They have the set of Will and Grace in there. And, well, I'm going to school for, like, political science right now, so we're in Emerson with, like, basically, your kind of, like, film, television,
with my kind.
And your kind of people, and I'm with my mother, and we're going, like, through the library, and they're like, and here's where we have the television set of Will and Grace, and my mother leaned over, and she was like, why did you bring us here?
Jesus Christ.
I have no idea. I had no idea. I was like, hey, that's really cool. And she was like, what are we doing?
Oh my god.
We still talk about that.
So is that it for news?
Yeah, that's about it.
So, Lauren and I went and saw a movie this week. We saw it last night, actually. Mm-hmm. We saw Brad Bird's new film, Tomorrowland.
Yeah.
Which is written by Brad Bird, Damon Lindelof, and Jeff Jensen, who was a writer for Entertainment Weekly. And Damon Lindelof was the showrunner of Lost for 6 years.
Yes.
And Brad Bird directed The Incredibles and The Iron Giant and Ratatouille.
All animated movies.
And Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol.
There you go. So what did you think of the movie?
I loved 80% of it.
Yeah, I really have to agree with you on that one.
Like, I really, like...
Or wait, should we give a brief summary of it, or no? I don't know if we can.
I don't know how much we can say about it, really.
Because a lot of it has been so secretive.
And I kind of like that. And I kind of like that I went into it not really knowing what it was about.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all you really know is what the trailers told you, so I'll tell you as much as the trailers say, is that it's about this girl who finds this pin that shows her a different world. And it's about her trying to find that world with George Clooney. Yes. And that is the setup for the story, basically.
Yeah.
And it's really fun. It's a really fun, really magical story.
It was. It was a lot of cute, fun, super Disney light.
Like, I mean, I'm sure if you're... Like, it's a Disney movie, so I'm sure if you're, like, a younger child, you'll have no problems with this movie whatsoever.
It's absolutely a family movie.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
But, like, you know, I think, like, once you get to, like, the last third or so of the movie, maybe even less than that, maybe, like, the last quarter of the movie,
yeah,
it's not as good as the first 3/4 of the movie, which is really unfortunate.
Yeah, they build the whole thing up so much the whole time, I feel like it falls a little bit flat at the end.
Exactly.
It's just so different of a movie during the first 75% that I feel like I've seen the last 25% before.
Exactly. It's like when you get to like what the crux of the movie is about, the movie is so creative and so inventive for the entire runtime until you get to like what the point is. And then you get to the point, it's all things. It's a bunch of stuff that you have seen a bunch of times in a lot of other movies. But I don't want to be talking negatively about this movie though, because it does sound really negatively. Because I did really enjoy it a lot.
It was a lot of fun.
I really liked Britt Robertson. I thought she was really good. I thought George Clooney was great.
Yeah.
And it would be so easy for George Clooney to just completely phone it in a movie like this and not give a shit.
He was great.
He gave it his all. He was great.
He was great. And you know what? I have to say, some of that could have been really dicey to play.
It's true.
It's really true. And I think he did a great job. It was a very fine line that his character walked.
Because George Clooney has been spending his entire career making up for Batman and Robin.
Oh, God. Oh, poor guy.
And he has, completely. Like, it didn't take him very long to, like, wipe that away from the slate.
Yeah.
But still, like, it's really easy to, like, see, like, how taking a movie... Because he hasn't done a movie like that. Like, he hasn't really done, like, a big, like, sci-fi action movie, really.
Would you really call it a sci-fi movie?
Oh, completely. Wait, Batman? Or, like, Tomorrowland? Oh, definitely. Are you serious?
I don't know. I guess.
What would you call it?
I don't know. Just like,
It's the literal definition of sci-fi.
Okay, you're right. No, you're right. But, I don't know. I just don't associate because...
It's about science.
Okay, I guess some background information for, like, anybody who's not you, basically, is that every summer my family vacation would be to Disney World, and one of the places in the Magic Kingdom Park is Tomorrowland.
Spoilers.
What?
No, not really.
Okay, so... I know, because you warned me about it, so, okay.
Oh, right, totally.
So one of the places...
You're terrible at spoilers.
Stop. So one of the places in the Magic Kingdom Park is Tomorrowland, so I just...
You associate it with magic and fantasy?
Yeah, I do, and I just associate it... You said, what would you describe it as? And I would say, I would describe it as Tomorrowland, but... Not as the movie, as, like, the theme park, which is not helpful for probably...
Not helpful for anyone.
For anyone, right? Except for me. So.
It's a sci-fi movie. It is a fun sci-fi adventure movie.
But in the same vein of, if you really have been to Disney World and know a lot about Disney World because you've been there so many times... there were a lot of little things in the movie that I noticed that I think were subtle references to
completely
things in Disney World. And I don't even want to spoil the first 5 minutes of something that had me, like, screaming in my chair that no other normal human being would have picked up on.
The first, like, 10 to maybe 15 or 20 minutes of this movie
oh my God.
is one of the most, like, magical things I've ever seen in any movie
if we
in
could
a
have
very
just
long time.
spent the first 15 minutes as the whole movie, Oh my god.
But like, even outside of the first 15 minutes, when it shifts focus to Britt Robertson, I loved all that stuff.
I did too. I thought that was great. But it just made me so happy the first 10 to 15 minutes. It was like...
It's like a shot of sugar, like, right into your bloodstream.
I was gonna say, it's like mainlining the entire Parks and Rec filmography show, whatever. Just straight
so
in, like,
happy.
15 minutes. It was so happy.
And, like, going into it, I thought the thing that was gonna, bog it down was gonna be the shameless Disney advertising. That was some of the best parts!
Yes, it was!
That was, like, some of the best parts! Was how, like, unashamedly Disney it was.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
No, not at all.
Yeah, because the way they did it was just...
No, but, like, I was just thinking, like, that maybe the movie would end up just being a commercial for Disney World.
Okay, which I would have literally had no problem with, but I might be
I love Disney World,
only person in the universe.
You know what I mean, though.
There was an episode of the middle that they went to Disney World. It was like the 2-part season finale last year, and I mean, my family and I were roaring, and then we went back to Disney World that summer, and then we were like, oh my god, they did this here, and blah, blah, blah. So I really am
I feel like there's like every sitcom, there's an episode where they go to Disney World.
Well, the middle
every family sitcom.
No, the middle is ABC. So
oh, yeah.
So they were literally...
well, same with Modern Family and Boy Meets World, too. So yeah, they all went to Disney World.
They were trying to promote... maybe it was like New Roller... Did they even go on the new roller coaster? I don't know. They were trying to push something that was happening in Disney World or in Epcot. I forget. Whatever it was. Maybe it was just turkey legs or something. I don't know. But...
Right.
Yeah, everybody's walking around Frontierland with those turkey legs.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
I swear to God, I never saw anybody eat those in real life until that episode came out, and then we went back next year, and I was like, why are you... Whatever. And that's totally not related
completely
to
off
this
on a tangent.
movie.
Completely tangential. So, a lot of people have been citing a lot of people have been attributing the problems of this movie, unfortunately, with Damon Lindelof.
Aww.
Which, I do love Damon Lindelof, because I love Lost. Lost is my favorite show. But the more I see of his film screenplays, the more I think those complaints are relatively valid.
Aww,
to a certain extent.
No!
Because Tomorrowland has some of the same problems that Prometheus had. In that the setup is amazing. And then you get to the last third, and you're like, eh.
Listen, I watched all of Prometheus.
Like between your fingers.
So I could not
3 years
tell
ago.
you
So you remember nothing about that movie.
I'm just gonna take your word for it.
And people also... I really enjoyed Star Trek Into Darkness. Mm-hmm. A lot of people had problems with it. I guess I got those problems. I don't know. I really enjoyed it, but Damon Lindelof wrote that as well. Mm-hmm. But yeah, people are putting this squarely on his shoulder.
Oh, that's a shame.
which seems to happen with every movie he's involved with.
That's a shame. People are just still mad at the Lost finale.
I love the Lost finale.
Well, let's not get off on your tangent.
We got to go off on your tangent.
You can cut out the turkey legs thing.
No, it's okay.
Please do. Please do that.
I would have before you said please cut it out.
Ah. Okay, whatever.
What else do you have to say about Tomorrowland, though?
Can I talk about spoilers?
Are we ready to talk about spoilers? Is there anything else we have to say about it? What would you grade the movie before we move into spoiler territory in terms of Tomorrowland? What would you grade Tomorrowland? Should we do numbers or should we do like letters or like what?
Oh, I'm better with the school grades.
The school grade? Yeah, let's give it a school grade. What would you give it as a school grade?
I would give it a B+.
I would also give it a B+. I was worried you might say slightly lower, but I would definitely give it a B+.
Yeah, I would give it a B+. I think it is a really solid movie with a really great idea.
And really fun characters.
Super fun characters, and yeah, it was
and
great.
A really fun, inventive, imaginative story.
Yes, definitely. That we can't say anything about.
We can't say anything about. Until like 30 seconds from now.
Yes. No, I would give it a B+ because everything was great except for basically the culmination of what is happening with
which is a
thing.
problem.
Yeah. So, And even that would have, even if it was less of an issue with the culmination, I would have given it an A- if it was a more minor issue. But it was such I didn't walk out of the theater doing cartwheels in the same way that I was ready to do, like,
20 minutes into
the movie.
Yeah.
I texted my dad. I was like, we have to go see this movie.
Are you gonna go see it again?
Sure. My mom and my little sister were interested in seeing it.
Good.
After I told them, like, I can't say.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I told them something, and they were like, oh, let's go see it. And I was like, we are related.
Alright, so that's it for our main review. If you have seen the movie and want to know what we thought about spoilers, you can stick around and listen to us talk about spoilers. Or if you just don't care and just want to know what the movie's about, you can stick around. But from here on out, we're going to be talking about spoilers for the rest of the show, and then the show will be over.
Yeah, that's pretty unfortunate because the whole movie is basically a spoiler.
The whole movie is a spoiler.
The whole movie is a spoiler!
It would be a lot easier with the Mad Max review if we were doing Mad Max.
Yeah!
Because spoilers don't matter with Mad Max because it's just a chase movie.
It's true. It's true.
So, anyway, spoilers start
now.
You want to start?
Sure. So what I said to my mom and Jen that made them want to go is that basically the first half of the movie is between the two girls. It's basically two main girl characters running around together, like one that's my age and one that's Jenny's age.
Well, not the beginning of the movie. That's more like after the beginning. Because the very beginning,
right, the very beginning,
is the stuff with young George Clooney,
which
was my favorite part of the movie.
That was amazing.
My favorite part of the movie.
So wait. Give a real summary now.
Okay, so the movie is really about is there's this place in another dimension called Tomorrowland, and it was like where the world's greatest scientists and artists and inventors got together to create this. It was Epcot. Like
it
was the idea.
It was Epcot.
Yeah, it was the idea behind Epcot. The idea behind Epcot in Disney World was
a
community of tomorrow, where all of the world's greatest scientists, artists, and inventors could work together to create the perfect community and just let their ideas flourish and do whatever they want. And the movie starts with young George Clooney and a little rocket pack and a little jetpack that he's invented, and he takes it to the 1964 World's Fair.
Sorry, can I interrupt? The Epcot's thing was an actual experimental prototype community of tomorrow.
Okay.
And Jeff Jensen said an ever-evolving laboratory to develop ideas that would improve the world.
Which is basically what it is.
And then they said, what if Walt had really built such a place? Yeah.
And that's such a cool idea.
And the beginning of that movie made me feel as excited every time I do as I walk into
Disney World.
Yeah. I was like,
because it really is like, because it's like following little George Clooney with his jetpack at the 1964 World's Fair.
Yeah.
And like following him into Tomorrowland at the very beginning is magical. And
oh
it was
my
really
God.
magical.
Well, so my favorite part, he walks into the World's Fair that I swear, I've never been to Disneyland, but they must have filmed it at Disneyland
they probably
somewhere. Did. Right, so he walks in, and what made me roar and text my father was they are playing the song from Carousel of Progress in Tomorrowland, There's a Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow, and I won't sing it for you because that would be painful. But he walks in, and he has that on his back, and they're playing the song, and just like, I was probably the only person in the theater that was like, oh my God, this is from this super outdated Disney World ride that nobody ever goes on. But it was just full of those little, like, things that, if you were really paying attention, made the movie even greater. Mm-hmm. Well, they go through,
It's a small world to get into Tomorrowland, which I loved.
Which did, in fact, make me cry.
It did? Oh, you mean not the movie. Being on It's a Small World has made you cry, which is ridiculous. But, so anyway, we follow young George Clooney, and then he's with his little rocket pack, and he finally gets it to work when he's in Tomorrowland. And then we move forward, and we're following Britt Robertson's character in the present day.
Right.
And, she's just this rebellious teenager.
But before that, so he gets his rocket pack, and, like, it's, like, broken, not working, whatever, and then this, like, robot fixes it. And then he's, like, falling from this really tall building, and then he gets his rocket pack to work, and his flying scene was better than Superman's first flying scene in Man of Steel! Him flying, I was like, listen, put this kid in a Superman suit, and you've got your movie.
I thought it was better than Big Hero 6's flying scene, too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, so
I liked Big Hero 6. I've just been, like, completely spoiled for flying scenes by How to Train Your Dragon.
Oh, yeah.
Which just has the best flying scenes in any movies. So, like, I see Big Hero 6, it's totally solid. It's a totally solid thing. And then he's like, not as good as How to Train Your Dragon. But, it's completely unrelated. But,
yeah, can we get through a movie without, or a show without talking about How to Train Your Dragon?
yes.
No.
I have. Several times.
A
couple times.
Once.
Maybe twice. It's really good. No one really saw it.
Alright.
You love that. That was your favorite movie of last year.
Listen, I know. I understand. I identify with the dragon.
Yes. So anyway, that introduces us to Tomorrowland, and we see it, and then we move forward to the present day, and we're following Britt Robertson, who is this rebellious scientific prodigy teenager who is given this pin by the same little girl who gives George Clooney his pin that allows him to get into Tomorrowland.
Right.
And we find out that something bad happened in Tomorrowland.
Well, it's because it's not really to get into Tomorrowland. It's an ad.
No, like that's like what she sees, but like he needed the pin to on It's a Small World. Scan the pin, then let him in.
That let him in.
Yeah. But I did love that the pin was a commercial ultimately.
No, I hated that. I mean, I did like it, but what really bothered me about the movie was when they got to Tomorrowland, and you're like building up, and you get to Tomorrowland, and it's destroyed.
Yeah.
And I was like...
And it's like abandoned, and there's like no one there except for evil Hugh Laurie.
Yeah.
And it's like, I agree. It was like...
I wish it would have been functioning and happy, and then you get to Hugh Laurie, and then it's like... Burr, burr, burr.
But I get why it wasn't functioning, kind of.
I know, but I just wanted to see it again. which I guess is the point.
Yeah.
But whatever. I don't care. I just wish it had been some other problem when you get to the end.
Yeah, because the thing that we haven't talked about yet, the thing that, like, our problem with the movie, ultimately... is that she gets to Tomorrowland and we find out that basically the world's gonna end in 60 days and she's the only one who can save the world. And which is like fine.
Again!
But it's like, you know, it's like we've done that. We've done that so many times.
Yeah.
And like I really like that the message of the movie
was
never give up and so on and so forth.
No, it was
and, like,
that dreamers can change the world.
Yeah, and never give up. Yeah. She never gave up, and that's how she could save the world. And they do kind of beat you over the head with it a little bit.
I know, but I swear to God, have you ever been in Disney World when they were doing construction? All the quotes on the construction are like, dreamers and this and that. So I was like...
Yeah, and I was saying to you last night, Meet the Robinsons has a very similar message, and that's like basically the message of that movie, and has similar themes.
Right.
Which no one saw that movie. Except for me, apparently.
Sorry.
But anyway, like, yeah, like, that's the main problem with the movie, is that is just so, and I don't want to say contrived, but it is contrived.
And listen, if you want to make the hero of your movie a teenage girl, that's great. That is great with me.
Yeah.
Teenage girls need more positive role models, but...
You know.
Just make it a little bit less dystopian novel-y.
Well, that's also, when you say dystopian, I kind of like that the movie was kind of like staunchly anti-dystopia.
It was, but then at the end it was
really kind of, exactly, like Hugh Laurie might as well be President Snow.
I know!
It's like...
I mean, I thought the final fight scene where they were switching in between a portal of, like, I don't know, some portal opens up that they're trying to send George Clooney and the young girl and Britt Robertson
to an island. I see what you do. I see you, Damon Lindelof, with your island.
Oh my god, I didn't even realize! Okay, well now I realize. And, you know, George Clooney and Hugh Laurie are, like, trying to get back between this dystopian world and this beachy scene. And that was a funny
it was fun.
Visual contrast, but...
Like, visually, the movie's amazing. It was, like, really fun and great, and, you know...
I would have just loved to have spent more time in Tomorrowland itself. Because it feels like you're building up to this climax.
Like, I almost wish that the movie just was entirely about young George Clooney in Tomorrowland.
I know, I do.
because you had me. I was there.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't even need to be like a save the world kind of story. It just kind of needs. It's just kind of like George Clooney was this little kid that no one believed in, and he built this little rocket pack, and now he's in Tomorrow. Now he's with all these great scientists.
Yeah.
And you could do that story, and you could do something with that, and like, I like what they did to a point.
Yeah. I think people are just sick of the entire world being at stake.
Exactly. It's true, because like, it's nice seeing a blockbuster that isn't a superhero movie where like everything is like the world is in danger, the world's gonna explode, Ultron's got a giant rock and he's gonna throw it at the earth, and the earth is gonna blow up.
That is a new one.
It is a new one.
That's a new one.
I love that. I thought it was great.
I did appreciate that. And in the same way, Tomorrowland was a new one, in that the world is ending because Hugh Laurie is basically telling everyone the world is ending by projecting these images into their head. Also, the way that Britt Robinson and George Clooney came to that realization was like the scene where they figured it out. I was like, what? How did you? Nobody would ever logically come to that conclusion.
I was thinking the same thing, and like it was super cheesy too.
Yeah, it was.
Like the thing with like, I appreciate the thing with her and her dad and like the wolf story.
Yeah.
And like it's just
I think that was in Twilight.
I don't know. I had never heard it before.
Well, because they're all wolves in Twilight. Because they're werewolves.
And vampires. I thought they were vampires.
The Native American people are wolves. They're werewolves. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, that is a famous. I had heard that before. I think I first heard it, which definitely took me out of the store.
But yeah, and I get it. It makes sense. It's just like it comes across as like a tiny bit cheesy.
Yeah, it was.
Like you walk a fine line between magical and cheesy.
See, like,
and this movie walks it very well to a point.
'Cause like, what is the difference between like using the wolf analogy and using "Do Not Go Gentle" in Interstellar?
Well, actually, this movie shares a lot of problems that Interstellar has.
And at the ending was like, wait, what?
Exactly. I read a few comparisons between Tomorrowland and Interstellar.
Well, somebody said it was Interstellar Jr.
Yeah.
Which is true.
Slightly true.
Slightly true. Rocket ship and all. Although, okay, the part where this is...
But having said that, I prefer this movie infinitely more than Interstellar.
Yeah.
Interstellar's fine. It is a solid movie. I would never say it's a bad movie. I applaud Christopher Nolan for making original movies that are very successful.
Yes.
And more of that, but it just wasn't as good as his other stuff.
Yes, I agree. Did you know his brother went to Georgetown?
No, I didn't know that.
Yes, he did.
He's making a TV show with J.J. Abrams.
Oh, cool. He comes back sometimes to talk, I think.
Yeah, really?
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So my favorite part of the movie was maybe the beginning, but if not the beginning, when they got into the rocket ship to go to Tomorrowland.
I love that too. I love when they're in the Eiffel Tower.
And the Eiffel Tower is the rocket launcher!
I did really enjoy that.
That was so exciting. And how about, it was Key?
Key from Key and Peele? Yeah.
Key from Key and Peele and
I can't remember, Catherine Hahn.
Okay,
yes.
And she plays
Jen Barkley on Parks and Rec and a bunch of other stuff.
Right. I know her from Parks and Rec. But those two people were great.
Yeah. I thought they were hilarious.
Yes, because the girl, what's her name?
Britt Robertson?
Yeah. Britt Robertson, who's the girl in the
main girl, yeah.
Right. She goes out to find where this pin came from. And she tracks this down to a store in, like, Austin, Texas.
And it's like a sci-fi collectible
It's a sci-fi collectible store. And those two run it. And they secretly turn out to be robots. But they were great. And you were saying you want Key's agent. Because he was in Pitch Perfect 2. He was
in this. He was in Fargo. He was in Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
He's been doing great for himself. Well, Key and Peele were both in Fargo.
I didn't get that far.
I know. You only made it to the second episode. I have it now. You can watch it.
No, it's too graphic.
Whatever.
That was weird. Sorry.
And then Key and Peele has been very successful.
Yeah. No. They guest edited an issue about Entertainment Weekly.
To your disdain.
Yeah, whatever. We can move on from that. Our national nightmare is over.
Whatever.
So yeah, no, they were. I'm happy we were able to talk about the aspects of the movie that we really did like.
Yeah, because it is hard.
Other than the beginning,
it is hard to talk
without
about
spoiling
exactly.
it. Yeah,
and most likely people are gonna, like, if anyone listens to this, if like 2 people listen to this, they'll either not have seen it or not have seen it yet.
Not care.
And,
I always not care.
Yeah.
I always listen to spoilers.
That's your attitude. I'm not about that life.
Yeah, sorry.
Anyway, is there anything else you want to talk about?
Really enjoyed that there were a lot of strong female characters.
Yeah, same.
Yep. Basically, I figured.
That's been the theme of this summer so far.
Yes! Nailed it!
In terms of what has been good and what has been successful. Mad Max and Pitch Perfect 2. And,
yeah, how about Pitch Perfect 2 beating out Mad Max?
not surprising at all.
Oh, I was surprised.
Really?
Yeah.
It was to be expected. Pitch Perfect 1 was huge, and Mad Max is rated R.
Yeah, I guess so.
R-rated action movies don't fare well at the box office.
That's a shame. I loved Mad Max. We can do another episode about Mad Max.
I would love to do another episode about Mad Max. Is there anything coming out next week? What comes out next week?
I don't know. That's
Let's
your job.
Let's see.
I just show up.
Don't ask me, I just work here.
Yeah, really. What do you expect from me? Actual content, or just more feminist sympathies and musings about my youth at Walt Disney World?
That's all you're good for, apparently.
I can tell you a lot of stories about us at Walt Disney World. Spent a week there every summer my entire childhood.
Oh, God.
We didn't go down the shore, we went to Disney World.
And all 2 people who listen to our show are completely alienated now.
I'm sorry, 2 people who are listening.
Alright, again, I'm pulling this up really quick.
50 Shades of Grey.
No. You know what the highest grossing movie of this year so far is?
50 Shades of Grey.
No.
What?
Furious 7.
Oh, yeah, because it's like number 5 most profitable film of all time.
I know. Alright, so Mad Max, Pitch Perfect 2, Poltergeist, Tomorrowland, Aloha comes in. Oh, and San Andreas!
No!
We have to see San Andreas.
No,
we're seeing San Andreas. We're seeing San Andreas. And then nothing comes out June 3rd, or I guess we're seeing Spy.
Yes!
So,
do you know that he was the...
Yeah, it was Paul Feig.
No, but that was like with Sandra Bullock and Melissa McCarthy, it was like the highest grossing like action something.
Female-led action comedy?
No, it wasn't like female. It was just like straight, like whatever it was. It made a ton of money. Apparently.
Yeah, it was very successful.
I had no idea. It was playing in a hair salon. I saw half of it. I saw the ending.
Next week we will be doing a review of San Andreas, starring The Rock, Mr. The Rock.
Mr. The Rock Johnson.
Mr. The Rock Johnson. The following week we'll be doing our review of Spy, starring Melissa McCarthy. And the week after that, we will be doing our review of, I think, either Inside Out or Jurassic World comes out that week.
Inside Out!
We'll do both.
Fine. I concede.
Because, I'm sure there's not going to be, like, a ton of spoilers with Inside Out.
I don't know.
They actually haven't really said much about
They
the movie.
haven't said anything about
and the reviews
movie.
have been absolutely glowing.
Yes.
For Inside Out.
I'm excited.
I think Jurassic World looks kind of meh.
I know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So is that it for the show this week?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. That was a solid first solo endeavor into the show.
Me?
No, like solo is like without Temple Radio Productions.
Yeah, screw those guys. I can say that because I don't go to school there.
Thanks. Alright, cool.
Yeah, viva la revolucion. Who needs this?
Yeah, totally.
Overthrowing the capitalistic... Anyway, we should just end the show
Yeah, we
here.
should just end the show here.
Yeah, alright, so that was good. And,
alright, so that was a solid show.
We'll see you next week.
Thank you for listening.
I mean, listen, if you want the hero of your movie to be a teenage girl, historically the most disenfranchised group. Take that back. I don't want to say that. Not the most disenfranchised group. That is such a big lie.
That's such a
terrible lie.
A false statement.
Oh my god, please take that out.
That is
so
false.
bad.
That's gonna look terrible.
Stop, take it out, please take it out. Please take it out. Please edit that out.